You're going through your old drawer one evening, maybe organizing some stuff you haven't touched in years. Suddenly, you notice an old coin, shiny, half-dollar sized, with President Kennedy's face on it. It reads 1982. You smile, flip it in your hand, maybe toss it in a pile, thinking it's nothing more than a 50-cent piece. But here's the kicker, that coin could change your day, your week, maybe even your month. If that's a 1982 Kennedy half-dollar, and it happens to be one of a few specific types, you might be holding something far more valuable than you ever imagined. In fact, some of these coins have quietly sold for over $100 online, and in rare cases, much more. Want to know what makes these coins so special, and whether yours could be worth a surprising amount? Stick around till the very end. I'll not only explain what gives the 1982 Kennedy half-dollar its value but also how you can find a buyer and sell it like a pro. But here's the deal, if you want to know your coin's exact value, comment price at the end of this video, and I'll reply with the pricing details and selling steps. Let's go back a little in time to understand what makes this particular coin stand out. The Kennedy half-dollar series began in 1964, shortly after President John F. Kennedy's assassination. It became an instant collector's item and a patriotic symbol. Over the years, the U.S. Mint continued producing it, although by the late 1970s and early 1980s, its use in everyday transactions had greatly diminished. Most Americans simply didn't use half-dollars in daily life, so demand for circulating coins declined. In 1982, the U.S. Mint made a major change. It stopped producing Kennedy half-dollars for general circulation. That means no rolls of 1982 halves were sent to banks or grocery stores or used in vending machines. Instead, all of the 1982 Kennedy half-dollars were minted for collectors only. These were packaged in mint souvenir sets and sold through gift shops or by mail. But here is where it gets tricky, the mint didn't release any official mint sets that year. That's right, no government packaged mint sets were produced in 1982. Only these special souvenir sets, which were less widely distributed and often overlooked. Because there were no mint sets, fewer coins were preserved in pristine condition. That alone gives the 1982 Kennedy half-dollar a rarity factor. While millions were minted, only a relatively small portion survived in uncirculated or collector-worthy quality. Many ended up in circulation anyway, getting scratched, dinged, and tarnished over time. Now let's talk mint marks. Coins are produced at different mints across the U.S. Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco, and sometimes others. Most coins include a letter a mint mark to indicate where they were made. For example, P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. But here's the kicker, in 1982, some of the Philadelphia Kennedy half-dollars were struck without any mint mark. This was a significant deviation from usual practice. The no mint mark 1982 Kennedy half-dollar from the Philadelphia Mint is one of the most sought-after coins in this series. How did this happen? Technically, the Philadelphia Mint was just beginning to use a P mint mark on its coins around this time. Prior to 1980, Philadelphia coins had no mint mark at all. The 1982 Kennedy half-dollar sits right at the transition point. Some of the dies used that year didn't have the P, and because the coins weren't meant for wide circulation, these no mint mark pieces weren't immediately noticed. That meant they were mixed in with the others, quietly gaining rarity status. Collectors love anomalies like this, and they pay for them. Especially when combined with high-grade conditions. This means your coin can fetch more if it's free from scratches, discoloration, or signs of circulation. Then we have the famous no FG variety. On the reverse side of every Kennedy half-dollar, just to the right of the eagle's tail feathers and below the olive branch, you'll usually find the tiny initials FG. They stand for Frank Gasparo, the designer of the reverse. But on a small number of 1982 Kennedy halves, those initials are completely missing. The cause? It's usually due to die polishing. During the minting process, a die was over-polished, and it erased the tiny FG detail. This subtle difference creates another rare variety. So now you've got potentially valuable 1982 Kennedy half-dollars with no mint mark and no FG, or both. Each of these variations can dramatically increase a coin's desirability and value among collectors. Let's break it down even further. Suppose you have a 1982 Kennedy half-dollar with no mint mark, in uncirculated condition. That already puts it in a higher value range, around $15 to $30, depending on how flawless it looks. If it has no FG, the price goes up. Now you're potentially looking at $75 to $200, especially if it has been graded by a professional service and found to be in top condition. Now let's say your coin is slabbed and graded MS65 or higher, that's mint state 65, a near-perfect coin. At this point, serious collectors start to pay attention. These coins can easily sell for $100 or more, sometimes reaching $300 or more in online auctions if all the right details line up. And those prices are growing. As more collectors focus on filling out their Kennedy half-dollar sets, especially the scarcer years, demand keeps rising. You might be wondering, how do I know if my coin is in mint state? Well, coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with MS60 being the lowest mint state grade and MS70 being perfect, flawless condition. You can send your coin to services like PCGS or NGC for official grading. But even before that, you can take a close look. Is the coin shiny, with no wear? Is the strike sharp, with visible details in Kennedy's hair and the eagle's feathers? Is the surface free from marks and discoloration? These are signs your coin may be in high condition and worth a grading fee. Another important thing to note is that proof coins were not minted in 1982 either. Proof coins are special high-quality coins struck with polished dies for collectors, usually sold in proof sets. In 1982, because of the mint policy changes and limited souvenir set availability, no Kennedy half-dollars were struck in proof that year, further limiting the high-quality supply for collectors. This creates an interesting supply-demand situation. You have a year where very few coins were preserved in perfect shape, and at the same time, collector demand remains strong for every year in the Kennedy series. That imbalance pushes prices higher. So how do people find these coins? Well, many have been discovered in inherited collections, estate boxes, or old gift shop purchases. Some are found by hobbyists who sift through bags of half-dollars from banks. Others pop up in flea markets, coin shows, or online listings. The key is knowing exactly what to look for: the date, the absence of the mint mark, and the lack of FG initials. Let's talk about actual sales. There have been online auctions where high-grade 1982 Kennedy half-dollars with the no FG error have sold for over $300. Uncirculated coins with no mint mark have hit $80 to $150, especially when certified. Even average uncirculated examples have consistently brought in $20 to $30 from interested buyers. Some collectors pay a premium for examples that are well-centered, with full luster and minimal bag marks. That's why preservation is key. Even the way you store your coin matters. Airtight holders, coin flips, and slabs protect your coin from environmental damage and keep its value high. Another factor to watch is market momentum. Right now, numismatics is experiencing a surge in interest, especially on social media platforms. Videos, reels, and shorts featuring rare coin finds have sparked a new wave of beginner collectors, eager to complete sets and chase rare varieties. That means more eyes are on coins like the 1982 Kennedy half-dollar than ever before. And as demand rises, prices rise too. So let's say you found a 1982 Kennedy half-dollar. What should you do next? First, examine it closely. Look for signs of wear. Check for a mint mark. Examine the reverse for the FG initials. If you're not sure what to look for, take a clear photo of the obverse and reverse and compare it to reference images online. If it looks promising, consider sending it in for grading. And if you're not ready for grading, that's okay too. There's still a market for raw coins in good condition. And now, the part you've been waiting for. What is this coin actually worth? I could give you ballpark numbers, but to truly know the value of your specific coin, its variety, condition, and market appeal, you need a tailored answer. That's why I encourage you to comment price down below. I'll respond directly and help you determine the actual value range based on your coin's features, and I'll guide you through where and how to sell it, whether you prefer online auctions, collector groups, or private buyers. The 1982 Kennedy half dollar is a sleeper, a coin that looks ordinary but holds potential hidden value. Whether it's the missing mint mark, the no FG initials, or just being in exceptional condition, this coin deserves more attention. It could be in your pocket, a jar, or tucked away in a forgotten collection. Don't ignore it. Flip it over, look closely, and see what secrets it might hold. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into the 1982 Kennedy half dollar, give this video a like and subscribe for more rare coin insights. But more importantly, check your coins. You might already be holding something valuable. Comment price now, and let's find out what your 1982 Kennedy half dollar is truly worth.